Uttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā bhagavati-uttama-shloke bhaktir-bhavati naishtaki Vasudeva Parayog Veda Vasudeva Parakriya Vasudeva Param Jnanam Vasudeva Param Tapa Vasudeva Paramakha Vasudeva. Sorry, I mixed all the 8 points. Trying to memorize this verse. So, Hare Krishna. So, we read chapter number 5 yesterday of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, chapter 5, entitled the We read chapter number 7, the dynasty of Mandata. We read till the descendants of Mandata, and we discussed about Harishchandra and his story, Rohita, etc. So now let's move on to the next chapter, which is chapter number 8, which is entitled The Sons of Sagara Meet Lord Kapiladeva. So, someone who has not read would like to read this summary. Srila Prabhupada.
I can read, Prabhu. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna,
please.
Dandavat Pranam. Chapter 8, the son of Sagara meet Lord Kapiladeva. In this 8th chapter of descendant of Rohita are described. In the dynasty of Rohita, there was a king named Sagara, whose history is described in relation to the Kapiladeva and the destruction of the son of Sagara. The son of Rohita was known as Harita, and the son of Harita was Kampa, who constructed a township known as Kampapuri. The son of Kampa was Sudeva, the son of Sudeva was Vijaya, the son of Vijaya was Baruka, and the son of Baruka was Raka. Bahuka, the son of Raka, was greatly disturbed by his enemies, and therefore he left home with his wife and went to the forest. When he died there, his wife wanted to accept the principle of sati, dying with her husband, and when she was about to die, a sage named Aruva found that she was pregnant and forbade her to do so. The co-wives of this wife of Bahuka gave her poison with her food, but still her son was born with the poison. The son was therefore named Sagara. Sa means with and Gara means poison. Following the instruction of great Saga Aruva, King Sagara reformed many clans, including the Yavanas, Sakas, Hayavas, and Barbaras. The king did not kill them, but reformed them. Then again, following the instruction of Aruva, King Sagara performed Ashwamedha sacrifice, but the horse needed for such a sacrifice was stolen by Indra, the king of heaven. The king Sagara had 2 wives named Sumati and Keshini. While searching for the horse, the son of Sumati extensively dug up the surface of the earth and in this way dug a trench, which later became known as the Sagara Ocean. In the course of this search, they come upon the great personality Kapiladeva and thought him to have stolen the horse. With this offensive understanding, they attacked him and were all burned to ashes. Keshini, the second wife of King Sagara, had a son named Asmanjasa, whose son Amshuman later searched for the horse and delivered his uncle. Upon approaching Kapildeva, Amshuman saw both the horse meant for sacrifice and a pile of ashes. Amshuman offered prayers to Kapildeva, who was very pleased by his prayers and who returned the horse. After getting back the horse, however, Amshuman still stood before Kapildeva, and Kapildeva could understand that Anshuman was praying for the deliverance of his forefathers. Thus, Kapildeva offered the instruction that they could be delivered by water from the Ganges. Anshuman then offered respectful obeisances to Kapildeva, circumambulated him, and left the place with the horse for sacrifice. When King Sagara finished his yajna, he handed over the kingdom to Amshuman and following the advice of Aruva attained salvation. Thank you. Back to you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You will read about all
Prabhu, your voice is
especially
cutting off.
King Sagar.
Prabhu, your voice is cutting
The
off.
word Sagar, that is.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Let's read. Take
Is anybody in position to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. May I?
Yes, please. I think that's what you said last.
Ji. Ji. Dandat Pranam all devotees. Text number 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Harito Rovita Sutascha Ampastasmada Vinirmita Champapuri Sudevo Ato Vijayo Yasya Cha Atmajaha. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sukadev Goswami continued, the son of Rohita was Harita, and Harita's son was Kampa, who constructed the town of Kampapuri. The son of Kampa was Sudeva, and his son was Vijaya. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandatnam, back to you.
I think Shubhala's going Prabhu had joined back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, very well now.
Okay, I'll just keep my video off, so text list. This is Champapuri.
Champapuri. Sorry.
So quite straightforward here. The story has begun from the point where we stopped yesterday at Rohit, because Harishchandra had attained salvation or self-realization by following the instructions of, who knows the answer?
Indra. King Indra.
Indra or Vishwamitra? Vishwamitra enlightened Harishchandra. We read that last. So Rohita was the son. His son is Harita. His son is Champa. His son is Sudeva. His son is Vijay. So now it may be important to note that we will not remember these names after 2 days or 2 hours. So a lot of some names, like, okay, his son is this, his son is this, his son is this, and suddenly there's a pause. right? So whenever something is really, really important, then Shukdev Goswami does a pause, or Parikshit Maharaj is asking that question, and then that story is shared in great detail. So let's see what happens further. Text number 2. Who is not yet read?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandava Pranam, all blessed Śrīla Prabhupada, text 2. Bodukastat shutastasmad vikrastasyapi bahu kaha sho arbhi rito bhurajo shabaryo vanam abhishat. Prabhuji, would you please scroll up?
Edible, is it visible? Yeah, it's there.
Probably, okay, now I can see it. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Prabhu Śrīla Prabhupada, Śrī Prabhupada Joy. The son of Vijaya was Baruka. Baruka's son was Brik, and Brik's son was Bahuka. The enemies of King Bahuk took away all his possessions, and therefore the king entered the order of Vanaprastha and went to the forest with his wife. Back to Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Vijaya's son Bharuka, Bharuka's son Vrika, Vrika's son Bahuka. So Bahuka went to Vanaprastha. Let's see what happens further. Who has not yet read today? Ekant Prabhu, you want to read?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prabhu. Vridham tam panchatam paratma mahishya anumarshiyati arvena janatatmanam para prajavantam nivartita. Can you bring it down a little bit? Okay. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Bahuka died when he was old, and one of his wives wanted to die with him, following the Sati's rite. At that time, however, Aruva Muni, knowing her to be pregnant, forbade her to die. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So we discussed in the previous word that they were already in the Vanaprastha. They were not in the regular kingdom. So let's see, when Bahuka passed away and this episode is happening, let's see what happens further. Anyone else who's not yet read? Yes, Lakshmi Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees. Text 4. Ajnaya Shai Sapatnibir Garodato Nidasha Saha Saha Tenaiva Sanjataha Sagaragyo Mahayasha Sagaras Chakravarti Ashad Shagaro Yatsute Kritaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Knowing that she was pregnant, the co-wives of the wife of Bakuha conspired to give her poison with her food, but it did not act. Instead, the son was born along with the poison. Therefore, he became famous as Sagara, one who is born with poison. Sagara later became the emperor. The place known as Ganga Sagara was excavated by his sons. Back to you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this is Sagar. We say Sagar. Sagar, for those who can read. And from Sagar came Sagar. So how many have been to Ganga Sagar? What do we call that in English? You know that? It's basically the Bay of Bengal area, where the Ganga meets the Sagar. The word Sagar or ocean comes from this word Sagar, from his sons actually. From Sagar came Sagar. So what does Gar mean? What does Gar mean here?
Poison.
Poison.
Poison. And Sa means together. So he was born with the poison, but it didn't affect him, or he didn't die. Do we know any other episode where the co-wives, being envious of her wife having a son, tried to kill the son?
Vritrasura in that Chitraketu Maharaj son.
Harsha Prabhu.
Shashoka. What was the wife's name? Kritadyuti, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Kritadyuti. How many co-wives were there?
1,000 Prabhuji?
1 million or 10 million or 1 million, I forget the total number of.
10 million co-wives, so 9,999,999 only. So we have read that story. Anyways, back to this. Probably, again, we don't know the reasons here. Remember, they were envious, like, well, this wife is having a son, and what about us? Anyways, so the point is, so Sagar was born, and from him came Sagar. Now, why did they dug up? Why did they excavate all this? So let's see if it's mentioned in the following verses. Anyone wants to read this 5 and 6 verse?
Can I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, please.
Namaste Pranam, everyone. Texts 5 to 6. Yastalajanghan yavanan chakhan haihaya barbaran navadit guru vakyana chakre vikrata veshinaha mundan chamsrudharan kamshin mukta keshardha munditan anantarvasha shaha kamshid abahir vasaso paran. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Sāgar Maharaj, following the order of his spiritual master Ayurva, did not kill the uncivilized men like the Talanjakas, Yavanas, Shakas, Haihayas, and Barbaras. Instead, some of them he made dress awkwardly, some of them he shaved clear but allowed to wear mustaches, some of them he left wearing loose hair, some he half-shaved, some he left without underwear, and some without external garments. Thus, these different clans were made to dress differently, but King Sagara did not kill them. So King Sagara here obey his spiritual master's order, not killing them. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Again, King Sagar. Sagar is the ocean. Sagar is the name of the king. So we're reading text, yeah, 5 and 6. So basically, great souls have this nature to forgive. Even the uncivilized, he didn't kill because his spiritual master probably told him to not kill them completely, but to kind of, for these people, Kshatriyas, insult is worse than killing. The famous example which is coming to my mind is Ashwatthama's. And Bhima told to kill, Draupadi told no, not kill. So it was like a 2-in-1 situation. And he basically shaved his hair in an awkward way. So kind of very similar.
Also, Prabhu Rukmi, when Rukmini's brother, Krishna just cut off half of his mustache and shaved half of his head.
Thank you, Mataji. It's a very apt example. And some had weird dresses and not dresses and stuff like that. So, okay. Let's see the next verse. Yes, Sharanya, Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 7. So swameder ayajata sarvaveda suratmakam aivopadishta yogena harim atmanam ishwaram tasyot shritam pashum yagne jaharaswam purandarha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Following the instructions of great sage Arwa, Sāgar Maharaja performed Ashwamedha sacrifice and thus satisfied the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Controller, the Supersoul of all learned scholars, and the knower of all Vedic knowledge, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Indra, the King of Heavens, told the horsemen to be offered at the sacrifice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is a common theme in the stealing the Ashwamedha Yagya's horse. Ashwa basically means horse. So Ashwamedha Yagya is basically the horse sacrifice, where so the horse is kind of let loose, and either you accept the defeat or you fight. Right? The famous example in Ramayana also this comes, where this horse was captured by Lord Ram's son, Lava and Kush. And Indra also stole the Ashwamedha Yagya. In the story of Prithu Maharaj, we have read multiple times. 99 times he was done. Again and again he would steal. So what happens further? Who remembers?
Prithu Maharaj has to forgive Indra that 100th time.
Correct, but there's a more detail there, very important detail.
Yeah, somebody appears and tells him to do so. I forget.
Not Brahma, Prithu Maharaj.
Yes, Lord Brahma said, okay, you don't do the 100th yagya. That's fine. 99 greater than 100. Because he did the yagya of pleasing the Guru and being subservient to the will of Guru. That yagya is bigger than the Ashwamedha yagya. That's a very nice class why many senior devotees talk about this. That how his act of not doing a yagya was much bigger than doing the 100th yagya. Because he heard the words of Brahmaji that you don't do It's fine. Indra does not listen, at least you listen. So again, the point back to this verse, Indra stole the horse because he feels that, well, my position is in danger. Why I let this horse sacrifice happen? Okay. Okay, maybe one last verse for today. Anyone? Karthik Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat Pranam. So, text 8. Sumatyastanaya drupta pitur adesa karina hayam anvesa manaste samantan nyakanan mahim. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Sagara had two wives, Sumati and Kesini. The sons of Sumati, who were very proud of their prowess and influence, following the order of their father, searched for the lost horse. While doing so, they dug into the earth very extensively. So it's a pretty straightforward. They received an instruction from their king, their father Sagara, and the sons of one of his wives, Sumati, who happened to be proud, and they ended up, they started digging the earth extensively, and I believe the Sagara came into existence through this process. Prabhu, you can add more. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Karthik Prabhu. So, why are they digging?
They are primarily searching for the horse, right? Searching for the lost horse, and
Yes, searching for the horse. Did very extensively. So we'll let them dig today, and we'll see where did they reach tomorrow. So we'll pause here, and I'll share a special story tomorrow about these thousands of, there were multiples, not just one or two. They did a lot of extensive digging, and they reached a very special place. But an important point to remember here that they were very proud. It's mentioned here, they were proud of their prowess. So we'll see whether they were successful in their goal or not. We'll see that tomorrow. Okay. So we will pause here. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhaktarinda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much.